Hi, my name is Lian, and today I'm gonna present you about my final project of philosophy and their branches. Since the beginning of humanity, society began to ask different questions about our reality and what surrounds us. It was thanks to the questioning of humanity that the need to create the philosophy that is the rational, abstract, and methodical consideration of the reality as a whole of or a fundamental dimension of human existence and experience. When philosophy was created with these different branches arose, which were represented by their philosophers, who were the ones who questioned a certain topic and began to draw their own conclusion about our existence. Metaphysics. Metaphysics is one of the branches of philosophy and is about understanding existence and knowledge. Metaphysics is something very complex to understand, and there are many ideas of metaphysics from different philosophers. Each one has their own way of understanding. So the philosopher uh, that I agree with is Plato, that has the theory of forms and says that explain the existence with dualism and says that there was always the visible and invisible, which there is always something else that still doesn't know about is not in front of us. So I agree with him because I think we don't know everything and we have many things that we need to discover, but we don't discover because we don't have that problem or that thing in front of us. But I also have my own metaphysics because, as I mentioned before, is the understanding of our existence. And I personally believe that our existence is due to God. I am Catholic and I believe in this religion, but I don't agree with many actions that the Catholic Church does. Although it is something that I have had to analyze a lot to be able to convince myself that this is where existence comes from, because around my life, different questions have arisen that make me doubt about this issue. But I have faith in God, and I believe in God, who performs many miracles and helps all the people who need it. So another branch is ethics, and is the discipline concerned with what is morally good and bad, and morally right and wrong. It has always been said that you live under a certain ethics, but really that is ethics or who put certain rules or steps about ethics. How they decide that ethics analyze the good and bad actions of human behavior, and from the perspective of who they are. Their actions are rated as good or bad. So I also agree with Plato in ethics because Plato says that that to says that something is good or bad, you need to analyze your results. That is the logical, the emotional, and the physical desire, because you make that decisions with these three selves. For example, when you make a decision about going to the party or not, you use your logical if it's okay going or if not, if you have permission or not. You also do your emotional because you consider if you want to go or not, and you also uh, use your physical desire because you analyze if you want to have fun with your friend or not. So the other branch is epistemology. That is the physical study of nature, origin, and limits of human knowledge. Epistemology is based on the knowledge of people. And here I agree with Aristotle because Aristotle says that our knowledge comes from our experience. And I agree with him because I think that when we do things is because we have experience in that. We we came in life in blank, and then with our experience we have our knowledge. An example is, if there is a rock that you trip over, the next time you will know that there is that rock. So you will around that rock or do something to not trip over again. And in the non-Western epistemology, I practice this because I practice this epistemology because I use Taoism when I meditate, because I hear some of their mantras. So there is how I use non-Western epistemology. So finally, we pass to the branch of aesthetics. That is the study of beauty and taste. Okay, so what we consider beautiful or ugly. For consider beautiful something, it needs to be order and symmetry, capacity of adapt, and is relative and subjective. We know that it depends on people how they see what thing is beautiful or what thing is ugly. That is why beauty is relative and subjective. But we also consider some things like the symmetry of people or the symmetry of objects to consider beautiful. And in art, we have three philosophers. Plato, that says that art plays to our emotions rather than our reason. Collingwood, that says that art helps us to escape from real life. And Aristotle, that says that art helps us to express our emotions. And in here, I agree with Collingwood and Aristotle because I use art to escape from life and express my emotions. I use art for escape from life because when I'm so stressful, I use art to distress because I forget everything that is in my and around me. So, and I express my emotions mm, with art, like I paint with the emotion that I I am feeling and things like that. So, after knowing everything about philosophy and its branches, in addition to knowing the knowledge of each philosopher, it helped me so that I could be clear about what I thought about each branch of philosophy and identify with their philosophers, either because of my experience or because I coincides with them, with his way of thinking, helping me to create my own philosophy of each of these branches. It was an important experience for me because it not only helped me for my school learning, but also for my personal learning. That is why, when I first developed this project, I realized how each philosopher has their way of thinking and seeing things, as well as the evolution that has taken place in this matter for years, and how from the beginning humanity began to question things, and that is thanks to that we know so many answers today, like is our existence. Thank you for your attention, and here are my references.